everybody and welcome back to the channel. I am so excited to show you this new illustration. I was trying to think of something to make for this video and I was watching some YouTube videos and a lot of people had the Smart Art box and they were using soft pastels. And I remembered that I have some oil pastels hidden away in my, art drawer. I bought these pastels a while ago and I was kind of scared to use them. I got them out once, I believe, and I kind of didn't like what I did with them. So I kind of just hid them away and forgot that they existed because I was like, nope, oil pastels are too hard. It's not for me. I can't do it, blah, 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 you know the drill. And yeah, I decided I would want to give them a second go. So what I eventually did was, before I even started an idea for the artwork, I got out some of my mixed media paper, which is basically the only paper I thought would work well with these, and it did. And I did some little test squares. Basically, I tested out blending into white, I tested layering some colours and scratching into them, I tested blending into black and, little stippling and other scratching and stuff like that because I wanted to get a good feel for these before I even started my artwork, because I think that's what issue I had last time. I kind of just dove into them without really practicing, and that's where I messed up. So I was testing out new different ways I could apply them, and I kind of started doing this little sketchy kind of messy kind of style where I'd leave bits of white and then I'd layer different colors over and kind of fill it in, and I actually really liked it. So I did a few different colors and then I decided to do another little test where I would put some different colors next to each other and layer them as well. And I actually really like how they looked. I liked that they were sort of messy and raw and parts were unblended and it kind of had a different kind of feel to it, and I really liked it. So with that in mind, I knew that I wanted to go in that direction, so then I started thinking of what I would draw. I was kind of a little bit inspired by the drawing on the packaging of these oil pastels, which you probably would have seen at the start of the video. So I wanted to do an animal. And I was talking with my boyfriend Jesse, and we came to a decision that I wouldn't draw a cat or a dog or something like that because it was a bit too common and I guess it was a bit too easy to do. I wanted to draw an animal which I hadn't drawn before and which was less common to be found in illustrations. Jesse told me that I should do something like a zoo animal, but then I kind of figured that if I drew something like a giraffe or a tiger, it's a bit too complex and has a lot of details. And with oil pastels, you kind of don't have a lot of control because it's not like you can get fine details down because the ends are kind of really blunt. So I was thinking, what kind of animal that's, less common to think about, but it's also cute, but it's a bit less detailed, and I decided on a quokka. For anyone who is unaware of what a quokka is, it is an Australian animal. And yep, I'm Australian, so I was like, I'd love to do an Aussie animal. They're basically a super duper duper cute little brown marsupial thing, and they just always look like they're smiling and they look so happy and cute, and I was like, yep, this is the perfect thing for me to draw. So then I kind of looked at some pictures and I did a rough pencil sketch to start it off. And then I went over and layered the colours in different places here and there. And at first it kind of looked really bad. but I kept going through and I persisted because I know sometimes an artwork will have like a awkward middle stage where it's not quite done yet, and I don't know, I guess you can kind of say it's like a teenager who's not quite a kid but not quite an adult, and they got like pimply face, and no offense if that's someone, but it's basically like an awkward in between stage where the artwork's not like starting but it's not done, and sorry, that was my phone. And it kind of looks a bit bad and odd, but if you keep going through and continue it, you can end up getting it to look better. I'm just going to silence my phone. So yeah, I just kept persisting, and I kept blending and leaving some bits here and there unblended, and I really liked the style that I was getting. I really like how it's like kind of rainbow and multicolored, and yeah, it's a lot of fun to do. Once I got most of the colors down, I went around with some brown just to like add a little bit of shadow here and there, like mainly around the outside, but also for its like face and its like hands and feet, because I thought if I did them in like multicolored as well, they would kind of like, they wouldn't stand out as much. So yeah, that's why I kept the brown mostly for that. And then I added little bits of white here and there just to add a little bit more visual interest. And yeah, I'm actually super surprised with this. To be honest, when I picked up the oil pastels, it was on a whim, and I really thought it was going to be a big mess and a big mistake, because I had low expectations from my earlier experiences with oil pastels. But yeah, it turned out really nice, and I love the vibrant colors, and yeah, I still felt that it was a little bit not complete though. I wanted to, I don't know, have something in the background, but I didn't want it to look too busy, because, you know, the Quokka itself looks very busy and colourful, so I kind of wanted to emphasize the colours. And so what I ended up doing was I left a white outline around the Quokka, and actually used a bit of white oil pastel there because I didn't want to leave, you know, blank page. But and then I just kind of went over the background with just my black one, and I kind of kept it like a sketchy textured look, and I like, you know, like the grooves in the paper leave some white bits, but I actually really liked that, so I kept it on there. And yeah, the black background really helped the colors stand out and looked even more vibrant, and I don't know, it kind of completed the artwork, I believe. And at the end, I thought, you know, I needed a little bit more white on the eyes, so I just used a little bit of white acrylic just for the eyes, and I used a Q-tip actually just to dot those in. And here's the final piece, and to be honest, as I said before, I'm super surprised. I did not have high expectations for this artwork. I thought it was going to be bad, but I am so glad that I went through and I persisted, and it looks, I don't know, I don't mean to talk my art up a lot, but I'm just so happy. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned. My next video is going to be a pencil comparison video. So I'm going to compare two different brands of pencils, and it's going to be super fun and cool. And yeah, make sure you hit that like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye everyone.